Hi guys, this is Mr. Urrego, and we're reviewing for the geometry end of course exam. Problem number 4, drag and drop the reasons to complete the proof. So we're completing the reason and proof. Here in the top we have like a word bank, some of the choices that I can use on the bottom, and I have my statements on the left and my reasons on the right. I have to complete those 4 blanks on my proof. Okay, I have to be careful. I need to look at my drawing all the time, and I need to see what information is given and what is the question. Information that is given, this is something that you don't have to prove. We already know it's given. So line A is parallel to line B. A, okay, this horizontal, that line is parallel to line B. And if you notice, I have a little arrow here in the top and a little arrow on the bottom. Those arrow means those 2 lines are parallel. Look at the one, line C and line D. Oh, it has 2 arrows, 2 arrows. They're parallel as well, and they're giving me here, line C is parallel to line D. What do I need to prove? I need to prove that angle 1 and angle 4 are supplementary, which means if I add them, I get equal to 180. Alright, so let's do all proofs are done one step at a time. First statement, angle 1 and angle 2 are congruent. According to my drawing, those two angles are vertical angles. So let's see, vertical angles are congruent. That's my first reason. Okay, so we're going to put here number 1. Let's see if we can write it here. Okay, so vertical angles are congruent. That's my reason number 1. Okay, so it's going to be 1. Next, C is parallel to D. So I'm going to go here, and it says line C is parallel to line D. And that's given. Why? Because it's here. Given line C parallel to line D. Next, statement number 3, angle 2 and angle 3 are supplementary. Angle 2 and angle 3 are supplementary. Okay, so they're saying that these 2 are supplementary, which means they add up to 180. Okay, so I'm going to ignore this transversal right now, and I'm going to concentrate on this. So this is going to be line C is parallel to line D, and this line A is a transversal. How do I call these 2 angles? Okay, because they're in between the 2 lines, they're saying they're interior angles. And because they're in the same side, which is the bottom of line A, then they're in the same side. So these are called same side interior angles. So let me see, I got this choice. Same side interior angles are congruent, but that's false. They're not congruent, they're supplementary. So let's check. If lines are parallel, then same side interior angles are supplementary. This is the right choice. Oh, it's number 3, not number 2. Number 3. So it comes over here. Lines are parallel, the same side interior angles are supplementary. Okay, this is wrong. Okay, next. Line A is parallel to line B. Given information. Here we go. Line A is parallel to line B, and that's given information. Okay, I have to scroll up. I'm sorry, down. So bear with me because it's gonna stay here. All right. 5 is angle 3 and angle 4 are congruent. So let me erase all this. So that's 1 and 3. Okay. Angle 3 and angle 4. The question is angle 3 and angle 4. Angle 3 is congruent to angle 4. Angle 3 and angle 4. Okay, here we go. So in this case, I ignored the left. So I'm going to concentrate on angle 3 and angle 4. So I'm going to ignore this transversal. And I'm going to concentrate on this side. Line A is parallel to line B. And this line is a transversal. Okay. So remember, between the 2 lines are my interior angles. And outside are called exterior. So in this case, angle 3 and angle 4 are interior. And because they're on different side of the transversal, they're called alternate interior. So let's see if there's anything with alternate interior. Here we go. If lines are parallel, when you have 2 lines like this, one next to each other, they're parallel lines. If lines are parallel, then alternate interior angles are congruent. Okay, so these are congruent, and that's my reason number 5. So this was number 1, this was number 5, this is wrong, and this was number 3. All right, a recap to make sure. So there's only 2 possible answers that I have left for my last question. Okay, let me clear this out and let's move on. So now I have, these are alternate interior angles, and my last question, which is what I have to prove, is angle 1 and angle 4 supplementary. That's the last statement. Angle 1 and angle 4 supplementary. So let's do a recap. Okay, so let's do a recap. So technically this is what you do in the beginning. You know what you're looking for, which is to prove this. They're supplementary, so let me go. So angle 1, angle 4 are vertical angles. That's my first reason. And they're congruent. You see only one mark, they're the same. Then we said that angle 2 and angle 3 were supplementary. So, and supplementary because same side, what we said? Same side interiors are supplementary, and that was my statement number 3, by the way. I put number 2 again. All right. Then we said that 3 and 4 were alternate interior angles. Okay, and alternate interior angles are congruent. All right, so if you notice, one arc, they're equal. One arc and 2 arcs, they're supplementary. So if you notice, I have angle 1, 1 arc, and angle 4, 2 arcs, which means they are supplementary. So my last statement, my last reason is angle 1, angle 4 are supplementary, and that will be by substitution. So remember, this was wrong. This was wrong. Okay, this was statement number 5. So we got 3 wrong, 1 and 5. We only have these 2 choices at the end. Reflexive is not, it's substitution. And this will be my choice number 6. All right, because I'm substituting the information from previously. Okay, let's move on. Let's do one more. So now we have another question here towards the bottom. Okay. Here we go. Here's the standard, just in case you want to search for it. Okay, we're talking about parallel lines as well. Let me get a pen and let me close this. So consider the lines and the transversal join in the coordinate plane. Again, we have 2 lines, L1 and L2. Transversal is the one that cuts them, right? The one that cuts both lines. Transversal, and they call it T. Okay, appropriate. Prove that angle 1, angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. All right, and the second part is prove that measure of angle 1 and measure of angle 2 is equal to 90. Justify your work. So let's explain. So first of all, they're saying, oh, prove that those 2 angles are congruent. And then I have to prove them that they're 90. Let's go one step at a time. So if I have line 1 and line 2, in order for me to talk about any angles, saying that they're congruent or not, I need to prove that these 2 lines are parallel lines. I need to know them. They're not saying anywhere that they are, and I don't have arrows in the middle. Remember the previous problem? I had an arrow and I had an arrow. If I have an arrow, then they're saying that they are parallel, but they're not saying that in this case. Okay, so I need to prove everything. All right, so let's start. So I need to prove that this line is parallel to this line. How do I do that? The only way that I can prove that 2 lines are parallel if the lines have the same slope. Remember, M stands for slope. If they have the same slope, then my lines are parallel lines. Oh my God, horrible handwriting. Parallel lines, that should be an E. Oops. Okay, if they have the same slope, the 2 lines are parallel. So let's find the slope of each of those 2 lines. So first of all, I see that they give me 2 points. There's a reason for that. So let me make a triangle. Okay, between those. Remember, the slope is rise over run. Okay, the rise is the vertical piece, which is this, and the run is the horizontal piece. So my rise is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and my run is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. So when I'm looking for my slope, and let's call this slope 1, I need to take a point and from there get to the second point. All right, so let me start here, and I'm going to the right. Because I'm going to the right, my run, remember, the horizontal is the run, the vertical is the rise. Okay, my run is positive because I'm going to the right. The rise, then I go to the right and then go down. Because I'm going down, the rise is going to be negative. So my slope of the first line is negative 4 over 9. Okay, not too bad. So let's find the slope of the second line. All right, let's use a different color. So now start this point to the right and down again. So let's go. How many steps do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, that was not a 9, that was a 10. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 5 is 10. Oh, this was a 10. All right, so this is a 10. All right, on the bottom, same thing. Look at this. It starts on negative 5, and it ends up at 5. From negative 5 to 0 is 5, and another 5 is 10. So I'm going to the right 10, slope 2, rise over run. My run is on the bottom, which is the 10. It's positive because I'm going to the right. And then I go down. How many steps? 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. I go down 4 steps. Do they have the same slope? Yes. Therefore, those two lines are parallel lines. So this is just proving that they're parallel lines. Now I know they have the same slope, which is negative 4 over 10, which I can reduce. Divided by 2 divided by 2 is going to give me negative 2 over 5. They have the same slope, therefore I know they're parallel lines. Okay, first step. Next. So now I know they're parallel lines. Now I can play around with those names. Okay, now let's play around with the names. So 1 and 2, that's the idea. So I know that angle 1 and this angle, they're vertical angles. Hold on. I know that these two lines are parallel, so I can put the arrows. Okay, angle 1 and this angle are vertical angles. And then I know that these two angles on the inside, they're alternate interior. I only have one arc, that means they have the same measure. One arc, that means they're congruent. Okay, and now technically this angle and this angle are vertical angles, okay, which they have the same measure. So right now I haven't proved that these two are congruent, they're equal. All right, so what do? I gotta go back. It says, all right, so there's no way that I can find the number. So I gotta go back, and how do I know? Because they're asking me to see that number is 90. How do I know if I have a right angle? How do I know? The only way that I know is if line T, and in this case line 1, are perpendicular lines. Okay, I already have the slope of line 1. I need to find the slope of line T. If I find the slope of line T, okay, and it's a reciprocal, a negative reciprocal to slope of line 1, then I can prove that they're perpendicular and therefore that the angles are 90. So let's find the slope of line T. Okay, so slope of line T. Let me get 2 points. Okay, 2 points. I'm gonna go from here to here. I'm gonna go 1. This is 9. I go all the way to 9 and 1 more, which is 10. So I'm going down 10. Okay, and that's my rise. I'm going down 10, and then I'm going to go to the left, and to the left is 2 and 2 are 4, and that's because I'm going to the left is negative 4. If you have two negatives, then that becomes positive. And as I can see, slope on line T and slope on line 1 are negative reciprocals, therefore they are perpendicular lines, and my angle is 90 degrees, and they're